Sandra and Bob have 2 grown kids. And even though they're middle-aged, they're having another babe.
I got my wish.
But will these older parents be able to settle in, or will Mama want to do it again?
I could just hop on board at night and he'd never know the difference.
When push comes to shove, Sandra's a tiger. And Bob's a dove. They have 2 grown children, but Mama wants more. So will a new baby make Mom sing or make Dad roar? Our panel of birthdays experts will be watching closely. Relationship expert and writer Josie Vogels. Author and mother of 4, Kathy Buckworth. And the man who's always psyched and ready to go, Dr. Irvin Walkoff. Country dwellers Bob and Sandra met, fell in love, and got married 26 years ago.
My sister actually saw him first and was attracted to him.
Woohoo, must have been the snowsuit.
And he ended up getting friendly with me.
Yeah, baby.
Definitely opposites attract. I would say that much. We're definitely the opposite.
Old Bob's a pushover, and Sandra?
Well, she makes up for it, don't you, dear?
They had 2 kids, Richard and Kaya, who are now most definitely all grown up.
I am 25 years old, currently going to college for nursing.
I'm 23, I'm a hairstylist.
Richard lives at home, but because of his schooling, he's hardly around. And Kaya, she's long left the nest. So to fill it, this mother is having another.
I wanted to have more kids. And the feeling didn't go away, and it just got stronger and stronger and stronger. I thought, well, if I'm going to do it, I've got to do it soon. So, I convinced my husband.
She really wanted one, you know, and got to the point I did cave in and said, okay.
They probably weren't expecting it to be so easy, though.
We were looking at going towards IVF, which is in vitro fertilization. The day that I actually went to talk to the lady about IVF was the day that I found out I was pregnant.
I guess all that fresh air did Bob some good, eh? But old Bob wasn't the only one who needed convincing.
One of my mother told me that she wanted to get pregnant after, almost 22 years. I was surprised.
I was telling all my friends about I'm gonna have a little sister. Everybody was just like, man, isn't that kind of weird?
They're like, you know, you are crazy, you know. Look at what age are you now?
I'm 44. The idea of having a kid at this stage of my life, running after a kid at this stage of my life, she's gonna be 64 when the kid's 20. She's a larger woman. She's not going to have a lot of energy to be running after a toddler.
Josie raises a good point. She is going to find she's a bit of an older mother. You have to be comfortable with that. It's not totally unusual, but she will be outside of the norm.
These 2 are different than the usual couple that we see because they're of a certain age, they're pretty stable, they've raised kids.
Been there, done that.
Yep, comfortable life. There are some people who can just not leave well enough alone. Be very interesting to see what happens to them in what looks like a pretty stable setting.
Since Sandra is no spring chicken on this baby farm, she's concerned that she needs to get back in shape.
My blood pressure has started to go up. It's been questionable during the pregnancy, but not bad. And now that I'm at the end of the pregnancy, it's starting to go up.
And Sandra's expecting any day now, so they're dusting off that old treadmill in the basement and moving it on up.
This is gonna hurt me.
I love you.
Just don't make me laugh.
Sandra shows Bob who's the boss, starting now.
Be careful.
Oh, I'd like to see you do this.
Yeah, but you gained just as much weight as I have.
How do you respond to that? But hold on, lover boy, you ain't finished yet. There's a little job for him to tackle downstairs, the basement den.
It needs to be thoroughly cleaned and whatever downstairs, and then new flooring laid. And usually he's a procrastinator.
This is all good stuff.
And if it's something that needs to be done and he hasn't done it, and I've gone on and on and on.
One dart.
Do we have it?
We don't have a dartboard.
Something like that might piss me off eventually.
That's all albums.
It's albums, but I don't want any of them. They're ugly. There's one bonus to having Taya. Well, at least we're getting rid of some of the junk.
You gotta be kidding me. I don't think we're gonna be able to get a lot of this done.
Well, anything's better than nothing, Richard, don't you think?
And it turns out old Bob has a whole list of projects he's been putting off.
I need the floor finished in here. The mudding still has to be done before the painting. I want the basement floor finished. I also would like the wood stove finished. Now, there's a lot of unfinished projects that need to be completed. He needs to get his finger out and get going.
So what's your problem, Bob?
Which you do. You tend to put everything off.
Wow, Bob, that's 7 cracks on the old whip-o-meter. And it gets worse. After the birth, Bob has no time off from his job at an aerospace company. So will old Bob be just like young Bob?
I changed the odd diaper. Yeah,
One diaper on one of the
No,
children.
come on, it's not more than that.
No, it was one
I'm sure I
diaper.
can count it one hand, at least.
It's going to be different.
It's gonna be different.
I think we're discovering why it took them 20 years to have the next baby, because he keeps putting everything off. It just took them that long to get to it. He's just cleaning out the basement.
Yeah, it's interesting you should say that, because I
Drives
was
me
looking
nuts.
at him thinking he looks a lot younger than she does. And it may just be style.
Yeah, I see it just occur a lot with men and women. It's kind of like the man takes this sort of passive, oh, you know, yeah, I don't do anything, and she just nags all the time, and nothing ever really comes of it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about that. He's got to step up to the plate himself. She can't make him do it.
Yeah.
Sandra's dream comes true as baby Taya arrives home for the first time.
When we were going to the hospital, I said, can you imagine coming home with a baby? It still doesn't feel real. I got my wish and it doesn't feel real.
Unfortunately for Bob, his time with baby Taya is going to be short.
Well, I wish I could take another day off work and just get settled in and get Sandra to put her feet up, you know?
I personally think you should take another day off work, honey. All right, I want my lover boy home. I'll miss him. I love you. You take care, okay? And drive carefully. And I'll miss you. Oh, I love you. Bye.
I don't have enough trouble yet. I want more trouble. Things are too nice. They like each other. They support each other.
Early days. He's going back to work one day after. That's very hard. You are very emotional. It hurts to have a baby. She's probably in a lot of pain, too. So she's dealing with that. But it's hard to be alone the first night with a new baby.
It's been 1 week since Taya's birth. It's 7 a.m. and everyone's asleep. That is until now.
Hi, honey. Are you awake yet?
23 years on, this mama's finding the thirds a charm.
She's a really good baby. She sleeps large blocks of hours, more so than my other two did.
Really? Richard seems to be doing pretty well. And look at his old man.
Bob works shift work, so we let him sleep as much as possible. It's the reason why he wears his visor and his earplugs. But occasionally I'll disturb him, just to make sure he's still there.
Like right now.
You.
Bob has the day off, but he better be on. It's 8 a.m. First lesson for Bob is learning how to change a diaper. Under Sandra's watchful eye.
Where's my gas mask? Let's take that tummy. Oh, nasty.
You might want to change yourself after this one, Bob.
There you go. Hey, we're finished.
But you better hurry, because your day is just beginning. Because at 9 a.m., bathing do's and don'ts.
Put her down here for you. Gently wash her face. Don't forget the crease of her neck, because that's where the milk goes and stuff. Across her eyes and her mouth. Well, squeeze it, don't put it.
I don't think I ever bathed my first two kids at all. This is the first for this one. As long as I don't stick her face under the water, I feel confident.
I can honestly say that this time around, it's a heck of a lot better. I've got my husband's help for taking a bath or shower. It makes life a heck of a lot easier.
I guess there's just something in her tone that is always this kind of like more mother kid than it is husband, wife. It's great that he's helping, and I understand he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's not an idiot. Like, he can figure stuff out and ask questions as opposed to it being this thing of like, okay, you little boy, now I'm gonna show you how to bathe the baby.
I thought, you know, it was great the way that she was helping him with the baby, because we've seen a lot of couples where the wife is really all, you know, you're doing it wrong, just give her back, you know, you're not doing the right way. I thought it wasn't bad. He doesn't know what he's doing.
He's like a first-time dad, but he's nicely seasoned, even if he behaves a little bit like a son. This time he's going to change the diapers.
Yeah,
and
no,
this
you're
time
absolutely
he's
right.
going to learn what to do.
It's 11 a.m. Sandra has shopping plans. And now that he's up, Richard has plans too. Since he's hardly ever home, he can finally bond with his new baby sister.
The first time I laid eyes on Taya, I felt that strong attraction to do what I can for her, to help her in any way that I can.
Can I take her?
I sure can.
The best part of my day.
Just like her mom, Taya has a job for the boys.
You've done this before?
Yeah, once or twice.
One diaper on one of the children.
Here's Bob's chance to show his young apprentice how the diaper thing is done.
Oh, she got diaper rash.
But it's Papa who's the novice.
It's actually easier to put it on from the top, put her arms through, and then fish her legs through after.
Was it?
Yeah, much easier.
All right, he's a nurse. Across town, Sandra's rustling up some grub for this evening's meal. Since Taya's hit the scene, this mama's plate is going green.
It's an important part of my life. I'm getting on in years, and I want to stay healthy for as long as I possibly can. I mean, at 44, she needs her mummy around for a few more years yet. And now I'm just wondering how Bob and Richard are doing at home with her. Hopefully okay.
Well, Bob's still struggling.
She needs room in that diaper, extra room, because she needs to be able to grunt one out in there. Was this what it was like when I was a baby? Did you change a lot of my diapers?
No, that was your mom's department.
Excuses, excuses. It's 6 p.m. Health food.
Supper's ready.
Okay.
But Bob's going to have to chew on this.
Uneven part of the floor here. Got to get the floor finished, along with the rest of the kitchen, dear.
Hold on, Bob. Just a couple more hours. 'Cause at 10 o'clock, peace and quiet.
Must be nice.
He can't hear you. And when Taya's midnight feeding comes, ignorance is bliss.
I don't think even an earthquake would wake him.
She's the one that has the milk, so she kind of has to get up.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm
like,
thinking.
saying must be nice. Like, I mean, he's got to get up to work in the morning.
Yeah.
Again, it's always this, you know, it's like, oh, we're about to sit down to a nice dinner. Oh, and the floor's not been done. And, you know, it's just always like, just get off his back.
Here you go.
You want me to do it?
It's been 2 weeks since the birth. Bob might still be learning the baby ropes, but his son Richard, the nurse, is doing just fine. He's enjoying his new role as big brother.
I feel that I've been put into a parenting role, but I don't mind it. I really like doing the things that I'm doing, and I hope I can continue to do them, and heck, I wish I could take on more responsibility. Next semester, I'll be going into a pediatrics and obstetrics rotation, so this all ties in with the work, with the career, with the education.
But just because he's doing well doesn't mean he isn't hearing it from Mom.
I think you need to burp her, Richard.
Okay.
She sounds like she's getting that. So, means she's getting a little bit of air with it.
And she's giving me a lot of advice, some of it good and some of it I already knew. I'm getting a little bit irritated because it's like a backseat driver and she's continuously giving me more information that I either don't need or I already know.
It's been 3 weeks since the birth. Richard has baby Taya, so that means Bob has time to get to that long list of chores. And Sandra has time to do a little thinking.
The idea of me having another kid is definitely in the back of my mind.
Say what?
I don't even know if it's really in the back of my mind. It's kind of midway. I like the idea of having another kid. The only problem is the fact that I am 44 years old, and if anything, that's what would inhibit me.
Oh, that's not the only thing.
Bob's always ready, so as far as I'm concerned, I can just hop on board at night and he'd never know the difference.
Whipped and didn't even know it.
Her technique of kind of just wearing this man down constantly, by the time I'm ready to make the decision, you know, she just has to hop on board.
As my husband says, how do I know what to do if you don't tell me? I think he's the same guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's waiting to be told what to do. I agree, it's not a dynamic that makes us all comfortable all the time, but it exists a lot.
It's been 4 weeks since the birth. While Sandra's been out for the day, Bob's trying to be a good boy by juggling both Taya and some unfinished floors. But give it to old Bob to find an excuse up his sleeve.
Oh, okay. Forgot the double-edged tape. Ugh.
Oh, that's right, the old double-edged tape.
I'd hoped to get further on this project today, but I forgot my double-sided tape and I need it for the job. So that's it for now.
What a shame, eh, Bob? With his afternoon free, Bob can now dog it with his brother Don. Such a hard life.
This time next year, she'll be walking around. Just, I enjoyed those times a lot, especially your kids were always into things.
Yeah, well, that's one thing about our house. It's not child safe yet.
Yeah, so when you do your renovations, you have to keep that in mind.
Oh, yeah, the renovations.
I got the kitchen, doing the drywall in the kitchen, now the new flooring, and now the whole basement. You know, I gotta clean up that garage. That's a mess. Because I'm so tired. It's just, it's worth it.
If only he knew what Sandra was up to. Sandra's got her mother out shopping for Taya under false pretenses.
Look at this. Isn't that pretty?
Now put that
It's
down.
blue.
It's blue. You don't need a blue one.
But Taya can wear blue. And then, you know, it can be passed down if I have another boy, if I have a boy or another girl.
No.
Oh, yes. Here comes time for the Grandma Smackdown.
What about all the health issues that you had?
All just blood pressure. Probably, I'd like to lose at least 60 pounds before if I was to do it again. Now, that's a good incentive to lose weight. So if I lose 60 pounds, you're going to start worrying.
Then I'll start.
Well, Grandma knows Sandra's secret. And at dinner this evening, it's Bob's turn.
I was out with Mum. I happened to mention to her that I was thinking about having a fourth child.
You're joking, right?
Old Bob is choking, but she's not joking.
I don't know how serious I am, but I'm actually entertaining the idea.
I think of your health.
The only thing I'd be considering is my blood pressure at the end of the pregnancy. That's the only consideration for me.
Oh, my blood pressure.
She needs somebody to grow up with, somebody her own, close to her own age that she can play with.
I'll put an ad in the paper.
I really did pick up on her using the pronoun I, as in I'm thinking about having a kid. Last time I checked, when you're a couple, something like having a baby is a pretty big decision, one that you might want to, you know, make together.
Given that she has a lot of other issues to
Yeah.
deal with, her age and the health issues, et cetera, they've talked about, and the fact that he doesn't want to have one. This is a big issue.
I would be singing a very different tune if Bob was jumping up and down saying, oh boy, I want another son, this is gonna be great. He's not. I think that maybe, just maybe, they run the risk that Bob is gonna wake up and say, just a doggone minute here.
Sandra, where's the sugar?
It's been 5 weeks since the birth. Old Bob is really trying to help more around the house. Even though it's not exactly Sandra's idea of healthy eating, this morning he's making Mama crepes. But leave it to Sandra.
Ooh, don't put the lump in, it won't blend. Get it to melt a little more. Put it on the heat. You're not gonna... You'll never melt the butter if it's not on the heat, dear.
I think it was a little bit too much butter. No.
It's an odd-shaped pancake. Not that it really matters.
It's great, it's great.
I'm sorry, Craig.
Maybe we'll give the first one to the dog.
A moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips.
Uh-oh, it came unraveled.
It's been 6 weeks since Taya's birth. While old Bob sleeps in, Sandra's got the urge to purge. And with her daughter Kaya, she takes a trip down memory lane.
She looks like Richard in this picture. Look at this picture.
I think your eyes look alike, but I don't think your nose does.
I think she has your mouth.
Look what I found.
She looks more like you. That's hot.
Nothing like that anymore. I didn't realize that how attractive I was. I wish I looked that way now. I really need to lose some weight.
No time like the present.
I'm here at the gym because I'd like to lose the 60 pounds. So that maybe if I decide I want to have another kid, I'll have the opportunity to have another kid. We'll see what Bob says about that. But I'm sure if I get nice and sexy and hot for him, maybe he might just give in. So as long as I build up my stamina, I'll be able to do things with her that maybe that I couldn't do before, or longer, like go to the park and play with her on the swings and do some stuff maybe that I didn't do or wasn't able to do prior.
There is a whole world of stuff in her observation that she wishes she looked the way she did then. So there's a whole drama we know nothing about, and it has to do with Sandra and how she sees herself and her youth versus her present state.
Yeah. The good news is, you know, she may get healthier, she may be able to lose some of the weight. The bad news is she may take off the 60 pounds, and then we're back at having that new baby again.
I urgently hope that they don't have another one, because I think Bob's ability to say, it's okay, I'll deal with it, this, that, it may be nearing its end.
And Bob, like Sandra, is trying to turn over a new leaf as well.
This is one project I hope to finish today. If I get that liner down and get this hook neck, we'll have a fire, and Sandra will mark one off of her list of things to do.
I'm impressed. You actually got a job completed.
Well, sort of.
I think these people are fine. I mean, I think they'll continue to be fine. If they do have another baby, that might change. I mean, he's finished the stove. Wow. Frankly, if I was Bob, I'd leave all the renovations undone.
She could use somebody to sit down with, help her come to terms with her appearance, her life. And it's corny, but maybe what she needs the most isn't babies. And if that's right, she could use somebody's help to find out what she needs so she doesn't have to complicate things with babies, which don't even hit the spot anyway.
I think they have a pretty good thing going right now. Again, I know you're not crazy about the dynamic, but I think it works for them. I think he's very happy with his new baby daughter. We see a whole lot of evidence about that. So I think she's just going to do damage to their relationship by going ahead.
It's enough already.
It is.
Oh, no, it's not enough already.
So you know how I mentioned earlier that I was interested in having more kids?
Yeah, you said something like that.
Have you thought anything more about it?
No.
Really?
No, not really.
I don't want another one. Not right now. No, it's just all kidding around. And I think Sandra, in the back of her mind, yes, it'd be nice to have another sibling for Taya, but no, I'm not too serious on that yet.
Is there a little bit of glimmer of hope?
No, there isn't.
Seriously?
No, I don't want any more kids.
Oh, Sandra doesn't give up that easily.
If he gets to the point where he's absolutely no, and I really feel that I have to have another kid, then yeah, crying, whining might be a way of trying to get him to make that fourth decision.
Watch out, Bob.